Oh, adulthood, the phase where the optimism of youth gets swiftly replaced with caffeine dependency, existential dread, and the soul-crushing realization that no one really knows what they're doing. Remember when you thought adults had it all figured out? Yeah, no. Turns out they're just winging it like everyone else, only with more bells and less serotonin. Adult or not, we all have what you call the most powerful tool ever created, capable of solving complex problems, creating art, and driving the technological revolutions that shape the modern world. But only if you know how to use it. Yes, it's the brain. But it's also the reason we lie awake at night, staring into the void, wondering if it even matters. The same brain that builds meaning out of chaos plunges us into existential crisis. But everything in reality gets covered, and that's where belief comes in. Belief, whether in God, purpose, or something as simple as a routine, is what keeps the brain from collapsing under the weight of its own complexity. As Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Belief shapes every decision and every action, whether to pursue your passion or settle for a soul-crushing job. It's the foundation on which we build the meaning that stops us from spiraling into existential dread. Even the most mundane parts of life, your job, your awkward conversations with your neighbors, pretending to enjoy small talk, are all held together by some flimsy belief system. Maybe it's the belief that it'll all magically work out, or the belief that you can avoid looking too closely at the cracks forming in your so-called reality. The brain is an idiot. It does not care if it's eternal life or free pizza as long as it makes you feel good. That's why belief systems, whether religious, political, or personal, have such a powerful hold on us. They light up our brain's reward circuits like a Christmas tree. But it's not all dopamine and rainbows. Enter cognitive dissonance, the brain's way of freaking out when reality and belief don't quite match up. We believe we're nice people, but then we hurt someone. The brain develops the mental gymnastics to justify its way to moral superiority, and when that dissonance isn't resolved, that's where meaningless starts creeping in. Here's the thing, we're all free, and that's terrifying. Kierkegaard called it angst, the existential dread that comes with realizing you have the freedom to choose anything, but absolutely no clue what to do with it. What else can signify the turbulence of a mind assailed by the crushing weight of freedom? The freedom to choose, to believe, to suffer. Is it any wonder that in this moment much that is irrational and fragile blooms within us? A tender affection even for the struggles we cling to, for the void that looms beneath us. This entire life is a celebration of doubt embraced and rendered into certainty, of belief fashioned from chaos, the exaltation of meaning created. It is the triumph of a mind battered by the storm of existence, yet refusing to surrender. Each day is a rebellion against the endless silence of the cosmos, a defiant act of belief in the face of meaninglessness. In this rebellion, the soul finds not despair but exhilaration, a renewed faith perhaps in some distant purpose, and the cycle repeats forever. The spirit, ever restless, ever searching, weaving its fragile tapestry of belief, tearing it apart and weaving it anew. The dance between belief and dread, between chaos and creation, is eternal, and yet it is in this eternal cycle that we find our strength to press forward. Try picturing this, you're trapped in an eternal day where every cringeworthy moment of your life plays on repeat forever. Every awkward conversation, every ill-fated attempt at small talk, every single Monday morning. You're doomed to experience it all again and again, for all eternity. Sounds like a party. This is Nietzsche's concept of the eternal return. It isn't about a mundane eternal damnation. It was his own sweet way of telling us, if you had to live your life over and over exactly as it is, would you be thrilled or horrified? If the thought of reliving your worst days fills you with existential dread, maybe it's time to rethink your choices. You wouldn't want to sign up for that kind of infinite rerun, would you? To elaborate on his point is to focus on controlling our mindset instead of events beyond our control, to complain less about the cards you're dealt and stand up for the challenge. In the end, while our brains might spin us into existential angst and beliefs may seem like flimsy shields against the void, they also offer us the freedom to craft our own meaning. Embrace Nietzsche's eternal return not as a curse but as a challenge to live so fully and authentically that you would happily replay every moment. The absurdity of existence becomes less daunting when you take ownership of your beliefs and find joy in the chaos. So laugh at the joke, shape your own purpose, and make this wild ride worth living. If you're stuck on repeat, you might as well enjoy the show.